사랑을 아직 난 몰라서 더는 가까이 못 가요. 근데 왜 자꾸만 못난 내 심장은 두근거리나요. 난 당신이 자꾸만 밟혀서 그냥 갈 수도 없네요. 이루어질 수도 없는 이 사랑에 내 맘이 너무 아파요. 하루가 가고 밤이 오면 난 온통 당신 생각뿐이죠. 한심스럽고 바보 같은 날 어떻게 해야 좋을까요? 마음이 사랑을 따르니 내가 뭘 할 수 있나요? 이루어질 수도 없는 이 사랑에 내 맘이 너무 아파요. 두비루비루라빠 두비루비루라빠 두비루비룹 두비루비룹 두비루비루라빠 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 두비루비룹 두비루비룹 하루가 가고 밤이 오면 난 온통 당신 생각뿐이죠. 한심스럽고 바보 같은 날 어떻게 해야 좋을까요? 내 아픔이 무뎌져 버릴 날이 언제쯤 내게 오긴 할까요? 한심스럽고 바보 같은 날 어떻게 하란 말인가요? 달빛이 너무나 좋아서 그냥 갈 수가 없네요. 당신 곁에 잠시 누워 있을게요. 잠시만, 아주 잠시만. 두비루비루라빠 두비루비루라빠 두비루비룹 두비루비룹 두비루비루라빠 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 두비루비룹 두비루비룹 두비루비루라빠 두비루비루라빠 두비루비룹 두비루비룹 두비루비루라빠 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 두비루비룹 두비루비룹.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. I'm Honey Satin, a non-binary streamer, and my pronouns are they and them. We, once again, are playing Coral Island because I do not play about this game. I am obsessed with this game, and I genuinely want to make a connection in this game and fall in love. Granted, the title, it says trying not to crash because my game keeps crashing. So it may crash. Just warning. FYI. Okay. So, why aren't you connecting? For some reason, it's not. My controller is not connecting. Why not? Let me unplug it and plug it back in. Actually, I'll just plug it from here. Nope. Okay, let me double check Steam. It's rare, but sometimes it can disconnect controllers on Steam. Sometimes. No, it says it's fine. I guess I'll double check. It's plugged in. Hold on one second. The port is long, but Paralyzed, why did you open? Anybody asked for you. For some reason, Paralyzed open. Which I'm not trying to open that right now. Oh, now you want to work. Weird. Hey, Theo. What kind of pet did you adopt? Tell me all about them. You free? Let's chill for a bit. Alright. Awesome. Let's do it. Have I chilled with Theo before? I feel like yes. I want to say yes. But I'm not positive. I don't know how to play chess. I wouldn't win at this game. I like how this game has like the extra added components and you see it like added in game, like these milkshakes or smoothies or whatever. He hands it to us, but he also puts it on the table on the side of the chessboard. Like, I like that. He doesn't just give it to us on our hand for us to put it away. It's on the side of the chessboard, the game that we're currently playing. Today was so much fun. You're getting to know Theo better. You're trying to get to know me better, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let's check this. Ooh. Oh. Got 16 pages. Spring 5, Data 1. I think twins like and don't like the same things. My mom and Aunt Alice are twins. Mom and Aunt Alice both like green smoothies. Spring 10. Mom and Aunt Alice went running together. They said they had a good time. Does that mean they love running? Dad brought home minced jackfruit pies for Mom and Aunt Alice. They told me they love them. Nothing new learned. Okay. I saw her notebook. Okay. Happy taking it. I don't even know what the hell I was doing. I'll be honest. Hey, Chum. Up for a game? Not really. I found a spider in my room yesterday, but I let him stay there. Fall is supposed to be the spooky time of year anyway. Plus, he eats bugs and stuff. That's true, you do. A little outfit. Businesswoman. With fall fashion, it's all about layer satin. A jacket and a scarf, whatever you want. Oh, maybe not whatever you want, if you know what I mean. Wow. This bitch said I can't dress. Facts, but how dare you say that quiet part out loud, bitch? What the fuck? What happened to common courtesy? We just like lied on my face, make me feel good. What happened to that? Okay, let's water my plants. One over. No, I couldn't. That's right. Excuse me. I took like a little nap after I got home. So sleepy. Plus I work again at like 7 a.m., you know? Oh, did I give you love, Luffy? Oh, she busy. Excuse me. Pardon. She said, bitch, if you don't get out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face. Did I love up all my chickens and stuff? Because I have no idea. Time for me to find out. I did, supposedly. Hi, guys. I guess I put stuff in the silo, right? Because I just got that silo. Yes, okay, good. So I know for sure they're eating. Something that can't be denied. Hi. How we living? Okay, they don't love me yet. That's okay. We'll get there. We will get there. Alright, time for me to just like, hey, what's up? Luffy? Blink slowly in contentment. Oh, what a cutie. Oh my gosh, I love you, Luffy. I'm gonna go check. Well, first, check over here, because sometimes there's goodies. Look, a goodie. That's my jam. And welcome to the slam. Come on now. So what's up? Okay, there's a goodie over here. Let's do it. Ooh, peanut butter recipe. Got your ass, a leaf beetle. Okay, I haven't sold it, but I've donated it before. Alright. There's nothing over here. Nope, okay. Gotta check it. Think there's anything up there, but I can always check on the way back. What's going on, Jack? Doesn't look like there's anything. Nope. Again, gotta check. Hello, ladies. Oh, there's a thing right there. Vegetable jerky. Oh, there's a thing. Got your ass. A violin beetle. I love that there's a Pokemon that's like based on that beetle, and it does look like a little violin. It's so cute. The hell? Y'all hear that? A brown beetle. Let's save, because I'm paranoid. Plus my computer does turn off every so often, so... I feel like I have every right to be paranoid. A centipede. Anything over here? Nope. I like this nighttime music. Wonder if this is exclusive to fall. Ah, another beetle. I think it's a leaf beetle again. Yep. I doubt. No! Get over here! No! Dang it. Hi, Bonbon. You just want to stay here and pet Bonbon all day. Who don't? Got him. Grasshopper. Whoops. Ooh, another fossil. Got you behind. An olive wig butterfly. Alright, don't spook them. Alright. Are there people in fish and chips right now? Actually, do I have a cutscene right now? No. I'm mostly here to support Theo. Not usually a fan of big crowds. I know, you're like never in here. Thank you, thank you. Don't you think jazz is the perfect background music for fall? I love jazz. It's smooth, it's classy, it's everything you need to embrace cozy vibes. Thanks, but you can keep this for yourself. Hi there, Satin. Enjoying yourself? I owe you one, thanks. The weather forecast is never 100% correct, but you still may want to pay attention to it. It's somewhat accurate, no? It's great, thanks. I could use a little chilling before serving. Then it would be just right. Do I talk to Noah or Frank about it? Who's in charge tonight? Probably Frank, because he owns the place. Thank you, my dear. You're very kind. I'll be honest, I'm not the greatest dancer out there, but as long as I'm not hurting anyone, it makes me feel good. Who really cares? You're so kind. Thank you. Ever try Sinel? It's so good. Been a fan since I was a kid. I'm gonna sing you some Sinel sometime. I hope that's okay with you. Don't worry, it won't be my cooking, so you can feast without fear. It's mighty kind of you to give home to a pet. I'm sure they're sure to have a wonderful life with y'all. Hey, Satin, did you stop in for a drink? If you want to order, go to the counter. Frank will take care of you. I like cooking, especially if the ingredients are fresh from nature and not store-bought. Why can't summer be longer? I haven't finished my reading yet. I'm in the mood for something crunchy. Thank you! Just for talking to you. Our show, Friends with Wildlife, has been a labor of love. Want to show people how amazing and important these animals are and why we need to protect them. Oh, was I talking to him about the log? Probably. Yep. I'm so helpful. Thank goddess there isn't a health code or anything, or else they shut me down so fast. Dude, I don't think you should admit that to me. Just kidding. Too early for a bad joke? I don't know. Don't know about that, buddy. Don't know about that. I'll take the coffee, though. I will take the coffee. Not the health rating violation, my goodness. I'm gonna tell your wife. I'm gonna snitch on you so fast. She could be like, excuse me? You said what? Aqua don't play about that shit. Don't do that. Okay, it's already 10. Take this. Nothing out here. Nothing out here. Double check the thing. Okay. There's another flower out here. I'll take this. That leads me right up to my farm, which isn't a bad thing, but I want to search all the areas, so I'm gonna go this way instead. Alright, perfect. Oh, there's one. It's gonna be missing another one. Another fossil note. Heck yeah. Okay, let me donate this one real quick. I didn't even check. Did I even check my goddess? Oh no, that's right. I had no blessing. Gotta remember to check that first every day. Okay, donate. This one. Oh wow, let's full up fast. This one. Yay! Pumpkin. Pumpkin seeds. I know, it's midnight. I know. back to the farm. And let's see if there's space to plant these. I think I have space. Yep. Okay, good. I had just enough space. Jackfruit. Make sure I sell all the little buggies. Oh yeah, the large duck stuff. Okay, I need to make the eggs into mayonnaise. Kind of ashamed I didn't do that earlier. Fabulous. And yeah, turn this into jackfruit jam, and I have pickled beets here. Lot of way I'm moving. Sorry. Watch out with no hands. I'm making pickled beets and jams. Roll out. Okay. Oh, you want love? Oh, I love you so much. Good night. Okay. Ooh, a bee house. I made friends with Emma somehow. I don't remember how. I think I completed her thing. Fabulous. Okay. Okay. Alright. Da 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 da. Alright, what's going on? Animal Channel. Welcome to Amelia. Hello viewers, welcome to Amelia. My name is Paul. And I'm Anne, a husband and wife duo who loves animals. We moved to Coral Island to document the amazing fauna that lives on this amazing island. Together with our daughter Zoe, we want to show you just how wonderful the critters of this island are. We're here in the forest trying to get some footage of an amazing bird called the cendrewalish, also known as the bird of paradise. The name bird of paradise comes from Anne. Do you hear that? Over there, Anne! I like the little blur effect. This is the magnificent cendrewalish, also known as the bird of paradise. Why is it called the bird of paradise, Anne? That's because these birds can only be found on islands like Coral Island. Would you agree this island is also a paradise? Definitely, because of how beautiful they are. Local legends thought these birds were messengers of the goddess. Stupid humans! No one cares about a pretty bird! Where's the footage of the wooded bighorn? What's this? Hey, wait a minute. That's not the wooded bighorn. Paul! Thanks for watching, everyone. And remember, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and keep nothing but memories. See you next time. That's cute. Oh, Pops is hitting me. Oh. It's wet and rainy tomorrow. How to be a farmer. I know a thing or two. Raising a farm. Got some tips for you. Plant pumpkins. I like them too. Don't forget about eggplants. Oh, I should probably grow some eggplants if I'm not already. I should probably. Okay. Let's check our blessing first. Whoops. Alright, what we got? Star? Strawberry? Oh, nothing. That's alright, that's alright. Oh wait, no, I don't have to feed them anymore because, well, I do, but it's all in the silo. Hi, babies. Why aren't... Do I still have to pick it up from the silo? Probably. That actually makes sense. Here you go. There we go. Alright. Oh, I didn't let him out. Come on out. Okay, ooh. Got me some cranberries. And let's let you babies out. I think I'm gonna slice up some more hay. Might as well get some more fiber as well. So I gotta keep cleaning up this farm too. Hi, babies. You need to be milked. There we go. A little milky milk. Nothing wrong with that. Alright. Oh, indeed. Enjoy it. Just eating up the grass. Nothing wrong with that. Look at Luffy. Oh, my sweet baby Luffy girl. Look at Luffy. Gives you a happy flick of her tail. Aww. What is it? What is it, my Luffy girl? I was literally just giving my oldest turtle Liam kisses and attention and stuff. He was so irritated with me because he had like a piece of string like stuck in his shell. And it looked like a tiny itty bitty piece of string, you know. And when I pulled it out, it was so long. But he was irritated that I was trying to pick it out. So it was like, dude, do you want to keep this in your shell forever? But the moment I took it out, he's like, ah, amazing. Do it again. Okay, I'm coming over to you, Resin. I'm coming. Alright, resin. Also, there's probably resin down here. Yep, resin. That's nice. There you go. And I can put the rest in here. Alright, what did I need resin for? Crafting wise. Gonna wipe my nose. Okay. I need more wood to make a bee house, which I think we should make. What's this? Ay. Okay, let's chop up some wood. Nothing wrong with that. Just gives me an excuse to clean up the farm again. Not that I really need an excuse, because I should just do it. But still. Buck off, buck off, buck off. Chop it down, chop it on down. Honestly, I need to do the Animal Crossing thing where I like make rows of trees. Just set it up that way. That way I know where all the trees are and I don't have to go searching. There we go. Okay, stop. It's going down for real. Did y'all hear that one of the party rockers fucking died? Like one of the singers from LMFAO, I think, died. I think that's wild. Because I don't think they were that old, you know? Really young. Just passing away? Like, what? That's crazy. Get another tap. Might as well. Oh, you're done. That's amazing, and you're about to be done. Might as well sell you. Come on! Okay, wait, let's check this Hydra 2. Well, I mean, I do have compost up in here. And I should put you away. Diving! Put you away. And compost over here. Fabulous. What is it, Luffy? Oh, my precious girl. Oh, my baby. I want to see what the fuck you up to over here. Let's see what kind of business you get into. Let's put the cranberries in here. And let's grab one of the jackfruit jam. And welcome to the slam. And I'll make a... Oh, can't make a couple. I'll do that. Wait, what are you? Extractor, that's right. Balayesh. Hey, baby girl. Oh my gosh, I'm just happy you're alive. Oh, I should probably sell my milk. Can't wait till I can turn that into cheese. Can't wait. Okay, let's go over... Got a wasp. Amazing. Let's go over to the blacksmith, but I want to walk because I want to see if there's any goodies on the way there. I'll check up here too. No, wait. I know exactly what's up there because I was just there yesterday. Sorry, y'all. Checking in your yard. Hope that's cool. Hey, Tappy. He seems happy. He's a good boy. That's why he's happy, because he's a good boy. We're chucking along. Alright. Process. Okay. Well, alright. Also gonna go to the lab today, so I gotta go back home real quick. Hi, beautiful. Ah, she's a precious girl and I love her. Yes, I do. Yes, I do indeed. I don't think we need any, like, bars or anything. But I'd rather have it and not need it than opposite. Let's just throw this in there while we at it. Alright, cool. Alright, back to the woodland. Let's go straight to the lab. What time is it? Ooh, they about to close. I need to hurry. Time goes so fast in this game. Oh my god. Okay. Develop equipment? Of course I don't have enough scrap. Okay, I have enough for the auto fertilizer. Of course I don't have enough for some things. Okay. Let's go with this. Okay, wait. I want to see what else we got. I can only do that. I can only do one at a time. Okay. Can't promise I won't cry next time, though. Okay, I gotta see... Ooh. Good jumpin'. Jumpin'. Da, 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 da. Eggplant. Fine. Drink. Nope. Drink the coffee. Thank you. You don't like coffee? Maybe there are some things I just don't like. And we have to figure that out as we go through day by day, you know? How much is it to upgrade? 12,000! You are tripping. You are absolutely tripping. Just gonna get one eggplant. I think I got everything else, so yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting one eggplantio. No, let's get a couple. Let's get a couple, don't be lazy. I'm just like, I don't need more than that. What if I do? Plus, I need more vegetables anyway. I don't think I have any sweet potatoes, so alright. That's all I'll get. You can't steal from me. Smarter than you. Gotta put down my bee house. Hello, my gorgeous girl. She's so pretty. Just happy to be alive. Why did I do the hydration one? You don't need hydration. You need hydration. Non-seed crops. Alright. Fair enough. Got me there. Put fertilizer. Can I make more I can. I can. And welcome to the jam. Come on now. Alright, let's put the sweet potatoes right here. Put the eggplants here. Alright, fabulous. What requires resin? I know it's like none of this shit, but I could have swore something requires resin. And I need to hold on to it because of that. Oh, and I have wheat. No, I need rice. Did I pick up rice? I don't know if I even have rice. I'm not sure. I'm not positive. Okay. Alright, let's, nope. Do that. Put you underneath. I didn't do the fossils, so I was like, there's something else I have to do. That's what it was. Put that. Put that. Put all these seeds next to each other. Put this here, this here. Tap, scrap. I guess scrap is fine. Yeah, I would just move that next to that. Okay. Let's put our bee house over here. Wait. Can't put it there? Alright. Put you right there. Oh, I put you the wrong way. That's not my bad. There we go. Place a flower. Alright. Fabulous. I can make specific honey. Alright. I'll take it. And I need to put these away. This is diving stuff. Go down here. Up here. I don't know why you guys aren't together. This is mining. Mining. I don't have any more silver. But I will put you here. I gotta put down another one of these bad boys. And I want to put you on a maple tree. If I can. I need to get my pickaxe. Why don't I have my pickaxe? I like this music a lot. They need to keep this music. I like this. It's very somber. We don't have enough songs like that. So many of these. There you go. There you go. We're gonna pick at these. Get rid of it. I don't think I can... Oh, wrong tool. Oh, I can! Gotta upgrade my stuff again, though. But for that, I gotta go back to the mines. I can't do that one. Well, I tried with that one. I like this music a lot. Hell yeah. Let's get rid of some of this shit in the way. Okay. Double check there's none over here. No, okay. There we go. Do I have any more over here? No. Just want to make sure it's not blocking the way. Watering can. And I can actually get rid of that, so I think I will. I know my health is low. There we go. Alright, I've done my job. Gonna grab these bad boys, sell them. And then it's off to sleepy time. Sleepy time, sadness. Bedtime. Not much. Only 290? Okay, well, jackfruit jam do sell pretty good, but I needed more. I need a lot more. 65 is not bad for wasps, though. That's not bad at all. Oh, hi, Luffy. Oh, she's been in a great mood. My baby. Let me see my relationships. I don't even know when your birthday is. Sunny, it's rainy today, I think, right? Yep. Let's see. Yep, offered, shipped. They're not going to want to come outside, so let's just check them. Hi, babies. Okay, and red day. 3 hearts. It's like, I want you to know. Yeah, got a duck egg. Not ready yet. Check out the babies in here. 2 farmer up in here. Let me show you love. Let me show you love. Let me milk ya. Let me milk ya. Ooh, okay, look at that milk. I know, I know. Fabulous. Put that shit back. No, no. Okay, I've done it before. It's the 9th. It's not the 15th just yet, so I can afford to sell these. I can afford it. It's fine. 80, 40. Let's check the goddess's blessing. Book, book. Okay. Diving proficiency. I'll take it. Yes, my goddess. No, that's catch. Advance. Rare. I think it's just crop, right? Yeah. All I need is a pumpkin and rice. A bronze rice. That is rice, right? There's that wheat. Yeah, it's rice. Which I don't have. So I gotta get some rice. Yeah, I gotta go back to the mines. But I have diving proficiency right now. It's like the goddess is trying to tell me something, like, be in the ocean. But that can't be what she's saying, right? Because I don't speak goddess. Pretty sure she would just say that. If she meant it. Oh, Lily. Perfect. My hoodie comes in handy in this weather. Yes! Let's hang out! Oh my gosh. She never wants to hang out. Hell yeah. Pretty sure it was like 10 when we went in there, so we'll see what time it is when we're done hanging out. Oh, do that backflip, boyo. There's a lot of monkeys. Are there a lot of monkeys in Indonesia? I think I need to learn more about Indonesia. I feel like I know a lot about a lot of Eastern Asian cultures, but I don't know much about Indonesia. Which I have a friend that's Indonesian, so that's kind of crazy. I need to learn more. Maybe I'll ask them about their culture. Just staring at each other and leaving. It was nice to get out. You getting to know Lily better. Okay. Only like an hour. That's not bad. Y'all know you're growing the celery? Wild celery? Not on purpose. You guys know that? I think I should do some pickled celery. Do you guys think pickled celery would be good? Because I love pickles in general. You sure? Thanks. Try fishing today. You never know what you'll catch on a rainy day. Okay. Let's buy some rice. Hopefully there's some rice in here. I never checked, so I don't know. Shop. Ah, there is rice. I know we had wheat, so I wasn't sure about rice. But it is a thing. Okay. Let's go up. Gotta go to the lab. Look at they close. They close early. Can't play around with them. Okay, I'll take it. No. Save. It says override. I'll just override it. should just name it the save of distrust. The only reason I'm saving this is because I don't trust my computer. Which I am looking... No, farm. No, I should go to the museum. Shoot. Should have did that. Let's make some pickled celery. I think that'll taste pretty good. Do we got any honey yet? No. Well, let's make some more. Okay, mine. Honestly, just leave this in here. There's no reason not to. And I think that's good. Let's do farming. I don't know what bug net would count as, so. I know this is all farming. Orchid. Guess I'll put here. It's fine. And the Anrath. I gotta plant that, but I'll also put the milk pail in here for now. Wait. Can I make the growth one? No, I cannot. I don't have any compost. Dang it. Dang it. Alright, well, whatever. It's fine. It's not, but it's fine. Okay. What do I need? Oh yeah, put away this. This is definitely farming. I know that's it. Okay. I need this. I need my net, actually. And I know I'm gonna have more trash, so I don't care about that. And I need to go buy tacos. We're having soft tacos later. Wait, don't close yet. Okay, vegan tacos. That'd be good. And lastly, let's go to the museum, drop this off, and then we'll go to the Wata. Now keep in mind, trash. I'm not gonna keep streaming. I'm just gonna let it be because I've learned my lesson. My computer doesn't like being on for long periods of time with the GPU, so I'm learning my lesson and I'm taking it in stride. Still streaming occasionally, but I am gonna continuously like talk about this until I get a new GPU. Go dive. This is trash for sure. Oh my goodness. I forgot where I was. Ooh, a torn page. What's it say? To Wrath from Wataru. I don't care about your boat near the lighthouse. Just make sure you pipe down at night. I already have trouble sleeping. If I have to, I'll tell the mayor about your secret shenanigans. Which, I think we got that one already. But very interesting. I want to know what her shenanigans are. What's she doing? Because that's a character we don't talk to very often. I need to figure out where the fuck her boat is, because I want to talk to her. Shoot. I've kind of ignored her up until now. Because I don't really see a point in talking to her, honestly. I feel like she doesn't really move the plot along, so I don't talk to her. But honestly, I should talk to every character, because you never know. Could be useful on all fronts. You guys think I should just, like, slice through this stuff? And then, gosh, what's the word? Slice through this stuff, and then, you know, actually collect the little things, but wait until I've cleared out all the trash, you know? Yeah, like that. So, like, leave it there until I'm finished. That way I don't have to deal with the. Oh, it's blocked. The creeping vines. Get your ass out of here. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Get your ass. Ooh. It said, no, I'm staying right here. Get your mangy ass on. Back to the kitty, because she's kind of pretty. Can't stop looking at her to the face. I think I mentioned this before, but I just recently rediscovered Sir Mix-a-Lot. And all I knew was his Baby Got Back song, because that was his most popular song, I think. I didn't know any other song, and honestly, listening to his entire album, it's bomb. Every song is kind of a banger. I don't think there's one song that I'm like, nah, he could have did better. I don't skip. Not on that album. It's kind of bomb, and he should have kept making music. Same with MC Hammer. They both should have kept making music, in my opinion. Ooh, look at that blue jellyfish. Ooh. A white spotted jellyfish. Well, you mind now. We're having soft tacos later. It's already 6:40 in game. And oh, got scrap, time to craft. I don't really like to make anything scrap-wise, though, because it's not the prettiest. Maybe if it was, like, really useful. But I haven't found anything that I'm like, yes, the scrap is meant for this. Where trash? It's the thin line between trash and gold. It's the thin line between trash and gold. There's more stuff over here. I thought I got it all. Got it. Nice and cleared out. You see that? Oh yeah. Hard work. Putting in that work. I'm also gonna save because I don't trust anything. Last thing I need is it, like, crashing when I'm underwater, and I've collected so much shit. And I've done so much work. I put in the work, dang it. I did that. My nose. Ay. Ah. In case you're wondering why I always wipe my nose, I have the worst allergies in the world. And I am allergic to my cats, and yet I have 3. Because I have no dignity and self-respect. But I love my cats. Even the bad one. Even the really bad one. And I ain't gonna lie, he bad as fuck, but I love him. He's my baby. Just like when you have a kid named Aiden. They bad as fuck, but you love them. Go. Getting late. We have to leave soon. You don't kick me out anyway, so it don't matter to me. You think this bothers me? It don't. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. You do what you do. I wonder if I can't find another, if this is out. I feel like I should be able to. I'm gonna try selling the coffers too, because I want to know how much they're worth. Alright. Thank thank you for kicking me out. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Don't bother me none. Grab this though. And this. There is a thing. Oh, and I don't have the thing now. That sucks. Oh well. Fun. Okay, so I definitely have to go to the mine tomorrow. Okay. I don't care. I'll get another one. Ship. Okay, we know how much that is. Should I go crazy? I'll get more tomorrow. It's fine. Go freaking crazy. No, don't go crazy. Because watch. Like, the thing inside of it's worth like $200. Let's not go crazy. How about that? Don't do that thing that you're thinking about doing. Okay, let's throw trash up in here. Farming. Scrap up in here. Actually, use that trash really quick. This. Alright, it's getting late. Alright, let's go to bed. Yeah. Anything over here? No. Get that pickle celery. Sell that shit. Sell that shit. Sell that shit. Oh, look at Luffy. Hi, Luffy. Licks its tongue happily. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're a pretty girl. I love you. Okay, go to bed. Okay, that's all I got. I didn't sell much. Okay. Day 10. Oh god, it's right around the corner now. Right. I really gotta start saving my, like, bronze stuff. Hi, Luffy! Oh, precious. What day is it? What kind of day? Okay, it's a breeze. A breezy. An easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl day. A sweat potato! Ooh, okay, wait a minute. That is a new color. Osminium quality? What the fuck? I don't know what that is, but I'm interested. Okay, I'm gonna take this pickled celery. That, and I will put that back in there. Then I'm gonna sell this blueberry jam. I don't know why I was holding on to it. It's not even like a good quality or anything. And I'll put you away and you away. Oh no, why'd I do that? In here. Go down here. Okay, got us some cranberries. Oh! Another really good quality one. Oh, we are gonna rock this, dude. We are rocking and rolling now. They don't know. They don't understand. Oh my gosh, the dragon fruit's gonna be delicious. Oh my god. We are rocking and rolling. Look at this. Look at this. I don't need nothing else. Gold, okay. I don't need nothing bronze or even silver, but I'm gonna save it. I think I have a silver one in here now. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it because I'm gonna sell it after I make like jam. Maybe I should make another mason jar. Can I? Yes. Can I reach? Okay, okay. Let's make some more dragon fruit jam. And I know this is for fighting, but put that in there for now. Alright, this and this. Dang, it takes a while to make honey. Let these babies out. Let me go inside, check for eggs. Any big ol' eggs? Nope. It's not like you aren't being loved upon and cared for. I don't know why this thought came to me, but if you think about the Adventure Time episode, this random episode just came to my head. I don't know why, but it's the episode that like Finn was kind of being treated like he can't do anything on his own, and he had to be trained as a warrior. So his dad was like, "Oh yeah, we need to basically." Oh, I got exactly what I needed. Holy shit. Jake needs to be mean to him during this trial so he can become a man. And he's like, Dad, he's like a really good kid and he's a great fighter. We don't need to do this. But his dad is dead and can't actively hear him. Oh, energy. Extra stamina. Okay. And his, again, so his dad can't hear him. And his dad is like, yeah, you need to do this so he can become a better warrior. So he's like really fucking mean to him. And he does fight really well, but it comes at the cost of, like, him feeling like he's no good. And I think it's very interesting to think about that dynamic. Like, oh, I need to make you tougher, but the only way to make you tougher is to be awful to you. Which I feel like a lot of parents, I don't know about now, but a lot of parents, at least when I was a kid, did that. And when my mom and when my grandma were kids. Like, I have to make you feel awful so you feel like you can stand up on your 2 feet on your own. Like you don't need anybody to like respect you and be there for you to do good. Which is kind of sad. Like why is that your first thought to do, you know? But it is. So very interesting. Hi Waku. I walked past the cemetery last week and it was mossy. Dead leaves everywhere. But then it was nice and clean yesterday. I think the Sanchez brothers are working on an extra heart cleaning up this fall. Good men. You look available. You look available. Want to hang out? Sure. You're not doing anything. Get over here. Hang out with me. Ooh, a tourist. Look at us walking around the museum with the bugs that I caught to put in the museum. Isn't that nice? Oh yeah. This place is thriving because of me. And I like that they're free range. They're not really like in an enclosure. They're just in a room. But then again, they can get stepped on, so that's kind of worrying. I guess that's the only reason why I would want them in a room, because you can step on them easily. I had a good time. Catch up again soon? Hell yeah. I gotta check my relationship status with these people. Okay. Relationship. Oh, sorry. Okay. Macy I'm doing the best with, honestly. Okay. Let's go back. But anyway, talking about the episode. Hello, beautiful. Wait, come back. Oh, Luffy loves you. I love Luffy. It made me also feel bad for Jake because it's clearly something he doesn't want to do, but he feels like he has to. Like his dad is gonna get mad at him if he doesn't, but his dad is dead. So It's a really strange dynamic, you know? Oh, right, I still have that. Oh my god. Like, clearly it's not Jake's fault that he's doing all these things. It's not. But it's also not, it's also not Finn's fault for taking everything so literally and seriously, because, like, he sees Jake as his older brother. He was literally raised with him, and now he's talking shit to him and being like, you're a fucking baby. Fuck you. Gotta pet you guys, just like I did your siblings. And I will get your milk later. I have to go. Okay, right. Cavern, yeah. I was like, where the fuck am I going? Alright, let's go to 30. Let's go to 35, hopefully. Always looking confused. He's like, where am I? Bro, you should know where you are. Do you know where you are? Do you know? Oh, I got a torn page. I didn't even notice. A fruit subscription. Okay, Barnes family pen. Oh, okay. Got it. I think that came from Sam's. Like ordering more stuff based on what the town needs or wants. Alright. Fossil node, hell yeah. Ew, the tongue? Drag gun. I don't do that tongue thing. Okay. Let's get this bronze ore. I need silver ore so bad. But we're not there yet. That's either going to be a little bit further into this one. Oh. Part of notcher. And I got some mushies. What kind is this? Shiitake? That's not shiitake. I think it's oyster. Anyway, I forgot. Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting silver in this mine shaft. I think it'll be in the next one. I feel like this isn't the one for it. Wow, look at all that double ore. What the hell? Oh, nice. Come on, double check there's no more ore. Yeah, we're good. Jump in. He chilling. I'm not bothering him. I like debate if I want to fight any of these things because they actively don't attack me unless I attack them. See, look at this. See? Nothing. Not even interested in me. Okay. Ooh. Matsutake. Nice. Broke up 2 of them. Gonna sneeze again. Probably. Nope. It's staying in there. Honestly, I think I need to make another wood chest. That is like my thought process. Because then I can put more fruit and veggies and stuff in it. Amazing. This one. Oh, there it is. Anyway, this is gonna be the last day I work on this anyway. Look at all this double ore I'm getting, dude. What the hell? I got 65. Never gotten so much ore. Not in one run, at least. Wait, do I have any ability to make some bombs? Yes, I do. Hold on. Had to blow my nose. It was bad. Not a way down. Dang it. I was thinking I have so much ore, I might as well use it to find a way down so I can quickly get to the exit. Because I want to get to 35. Nothing. Dang. More over here. Or in my way. Oh, okay, he attacked me that time. Now he's gotta die. He did actively attack me that time. If I press into them, they attack me? No. I think for him, I think I woke him up. He's like, the fuck? I was dreaming and shit. Make more. Can't make any rope. I don't have enough. Take this rock, though. Oh, wow. I would really think I would have got that one. Okay. That one? No, wow, okay. Alright, I'm just gonna keep using this. I literally thought that I would have had it. And I'm trying to get down to the next level. I'm trying to get to 35 at least. There we go. Speaking of... Oh, there it is. Alright, I don't give a fuck about this. Go down to 35. Hell yeah. It's already 9. Ooh. A tuna. Ooh, it's a tuna. I need to fish more too. I really don't fish at all. But fishing is not my favorite in game. It's really not. Okay. Let's get the hell out of here. Leave that mine. I have a bunch of ore that I need to turn into bars now. Bars. Oh, no, not easy. Well, I can donate these fish, yeah. Not a bad idea, actually. Eh. There we go. Enjoy. I kind of wish that Scott was like Blathers and either hated fish or he hated insects or something. Because I thought that aspect was really funny. Like, I'll take it off your hands, but I really don't wanna. If you just want to keep it, that's fine with me. I gotta get more. Mining. Mining. Okay. Throw that up in there. Throw that up in there. Throw that shit up in there. Gonna sneeze. Woo! You know what? Let's turn ginger into pickled ginger, because pickled ginger is delicious if you haven't had it. Missing out. Oh, I can turn milk into butter. I just read that. Oh my god. Oh wait. I don't have the thing. Okay. Ah, my nose. Ah. Sorry. Really dripping now. Alright, milk pail. I don't know why I didn't read that. Turns it into butter. Say less. I'll have you say less. Okay. Boop boop. I'll see you later. Jump. There we go. Okay, good. You guys are fed. I couldn't remember if I double checked or not. I feel like I didn't, though. You done? Ah, one of them is done. Hell yeah. I'll take that. See, so many of these I want to turn into, like, pickled stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to do it just yet, you know? Wait. That harvest something. This. I got basil. Got me some basil. Alright, what else was I doing? There was something else. Not really. So that. So that. Oh, wait. I wanted a stone one or a wood one, right? Holds up to 40. Hold up to 20, 40. Okay. Let's do a couple stone chests. Because I feel like that's better. There we go. And I will put mushrooms and shit in here. Gonna do so many pickled things, you have no idea, dude. I'll throw that in there. This is all stuff that needs to be turned into stuff. Okay. I do have tough meat. Do I have time to go to Goddess? Really, no. I don't. Okay. Let's just go to bed. My baby girl. I'll love up on you one last time before the day ends. Alright. What I get? What you get me? Okay, okay, okay. Look at all this shit. Ooh. Oh yeah. I'm out here for real. Hell yeah. You see me. It's Theo's birthday. But this is where we're gonna stop, guys, because one, afraid my computer's gonna crash, and two, I've been too exhausted for showing up for work. So, thank you guys so much for hanging out and spending time with me, and thank you for making me part of your daily routine. And remember, guys, save the turtles. Bye.